Grazie, grazie.
Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praise be Jesus Christ.
La pace sia con voi.
As we go live, and welcome to this live broadcast of Pope Leo XIV's audience with exponents of the world of cinema. We just heard the Holy Father begin this audience with the liturgical greeting, sign of the cross. It's taking place in the Clementine Hall in the Vatican's Apostolic Palace. My name is Devin Watkins, and I'll be providing commentary for this event. Thank you for joining us.
È un po' irrequieta, anche se ormai centenaria. Proprio in questi giorni,
Dear brothers and sisters, although cinema is now over a century old, it is still a young, dreamlike, and somewhat restless art form. It will soon celebrate its 130th anniversary, counting from the first public screening by the Lumiere brothers in Paris on December 28, 1895. From the outset, cinema was a play of light and shadow designed to amuse and impress. However, these visual effects soon succeeded in conveying much deeper realities, eventually becoming an expression of the desire to contemplate and understand life, to recount its greatness and fragility, and to portray the longing for infinity.
Con gioia vi saluto, cari amici e amiche, e saluto con gratitudine quello che il cinema rappresenta.
Dear friends, I am happy to greet and welcome you. I also express my gratitude for what cinema represents. A popular art in the noblest sense, intended for and accessible to all. It is wonderful to see that when the magic light of cinema illuminates the darkness, it simultaneously ignites the eyes of the soul. Indeed, cinema combines what appears to be mere entertainment with the narrative of the human person's spiritual adventure. One of cinema's most valuable contributions is helping audiences consider their own lives, look at the complexity of their experiences with new eyes, and examine the world as if for the first time. In doing so, they rediscover a portion of the hope that is essential for humanity to live to the fullest. I find comfort in the thought that cinema is not just moving pictures, it sets hope in motion.
Entrare in una sala cinematografica è come attraversare una soglia nel buio, nel silenzio.
Entering a cinema is like crossing a threshold. In the darkness and silence, vision becomes sharper, the heart opens up, and the mind becomes receptive to things not yet imagined. In reality, you know that your art form requires concentration. Through your productions, you connect with people who are looking for entertainment, as well as those who carry within their hearts a sense of restlessness and are looking for meaning, justice, and beauty. We live in an age where digital screens are always on. There is a constant flow of information. However, cinema is much more than just a screen. It is an intersection of desires, memories, and questions. It is a sensory journey in which light pierces the darkness and words meet silence. As the plot unfolds, our mind is educated, our imagination broadens, and even pain can find new meaning.
Strutture culturali come i cinema e i teatri sono dei cuori pulsanti dei nostri territori.
The logic of algorithms tend to repeat what works.
Se una città è viva, e anche grazie ai suoi spazi culturali. Dobbiamo abitarli, costruirci relazioni giorno dopo giorno. Ma le sale cinematografiche
Cultural facilities such as cinemas and theaters are the beating hearts of our communities, because they contribute to making them more human. If a city is alive, it is thanks in part to its cultural spaces. We must inhabit these spaces and build relationships within them day after day. We must nonetheless, cinemas are experiencing a troubling decline, with many being removed from cities and neighborhoods. More than a few people are saying that the art of cinema and the cinematic experience are in danger. I urge institutions not to give up, but to cooperate in affirming the social and cultural value of this activity. The logic of algorithms tends to repeat what works, but art opens up what is possible. Not everything has to be immediate or predictable. Defend slowness when it serves a purpose, silence when it speaks, and difference when evocative. Beauty is not just a means of escape, it is above all an invocation. When cinema is authentic, it does not merely console, but challenges. It articulates the questions that dwell within us, and sometimes even provokes tears that we did not know we needed to express. In this Jubilee year, the Church invites us to journey towards hope. Your presidents here from so many different countries, and your artistic work in particular is a shining example. Like so many others who come to Rome from all over the world, you too are on a journey as pilgrims of the imagination, seekers of meaning, narrators of hope, and heralds of humanity. Your journey is not measured in kilometers, but in images, words, emotions, shared memories, and collective desires. You navigate this pilgrimage into the mystery of human experience with a penetrating gaze that is capable of recognizing beauty even in the depths of pain, and of discerning hope in the tragedy of violence and war.
La Chiesa guarda con stima a voi che lavorate con la luce e con il tempo, con il volto.
The Church esteems you for your work with light and time, with faces and landscapes, with words and silence. Pope St. Paul VI once spoke to artists saying, "If you are friends of genuine art, you are our friends," recalling that this world in which we live needs beauty in order not to sink into despair. I wish to renew this friendship because cinema is a workshop of hope, a place where people can once again find themselves and their purpose. Perhaps we could bear in mind the words of one of the great pioneers of the seventh art, David W. Griffith.
What the modern movie lacks is beauty, the beauty of the moving wind in the trees. Come non pensare, ascoltando
reference, citation of the Holy Father of David Griffith. He returns to Italian, saying, "His reference to the wind cannot but remind us of a passage from John's Gospel. The wind blows where it chooses, and you hear the sound of it, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit." In this regard, dear seasoned and novice filmmakers, I invite you to make cinema an art of the Spirit. In this present era, there is need for witnesses of hope, beauty, and truth. You can fulfill this role through your artistic work. Good cinema and those who create and star in it have the power to recover the authenticity of imagery in order to safeguard and promote human dignity. Do not be afraid to confront the world's wounds, violence, poverty, exile, loneliness, addiction, and forgotten wars are issues that need to be acknowledged and narrated. Good cinema does not exploit pain. It recognizes and explores it. This is what all the great directors have done. Giving voice to the complex, contradictory, and sometimes dark feelings that dwell in the human heart is an act of love. Art must not shy away from the mystery of frailty. It must engage with it and know how to remain before it. Without being didactic, authentically artistic forms of cinema possess the capacity to educate the audience's gaze. In conclusion, filmmaking is a communal effort, a collective endeavor in which no one is sufficient. While everyone recognizes the skill of the director and the genius of the actors, a film would be impossible without the quiet dedication of hundreds of other professionals, including assistants, runners, prop masters, electricians, sound engineers, equipment technicians, makeup artists, hairstylists, costume designers, location managers, casting directors, directors of photography, music directors, screenwriters, editors, special effects technicians, and producers. I hope I didn't leave anyone out. It seems there are quite a few.
Ogni voce, ogni gesto, ogni competenza.
Every voice, every gesture, and every skill contributes to a work that can only exist as a whole. In an age of exaggerated and confrontational personalities, you demonstrate that creating a quality film requires dedication and talent. Thanks to the gifts and qualities of those whom you work alongside, everyone can make their unique charisma shine in a collaborative and fraternal atmosphere. May your cinema always be a meeting place and a home for those seeking meaning and a language of peace. May it never lose its capacity to amaze, and even continue to offer us a glimpse, however small, of the mystery of God. May the Lord bless you, your work, and your loved ones, and may He always accompany you on your creative journey and help you be artisans of hope. And that was Pope Leo XIV's address to all of the actors and directors and people from the world of cinema. And now we will receive the Holy Father's blessing.
Il Signore sia con voi. Sia benedetto il nome del Signore, ora e sempre. Il nostro aiuto nel nome del Signore. Vi benedica Dio Onnipotente, Padre e Figlio e Spirito Santo. Amen. Grazie a voi, buon lavoro, grazie per tutto.
Greetings to you all, and thank you for your work, said the Holy Father. We appreciate your patience with us at the beginning of this audience. Thank you for all of you for joining us. We also mention those of you who are joining us